All right, in this video, we're going to be going through multiple spanning tree configuration commands on Cisco devices. And this is just one video in the GNS3 labs for the CCNA series, so if that interests you, you should subscribe and check out the rest of the videos as well. In this video, we're going to go through a very brief multiple spanning tree protocol explanation and then go to some configuration examples on GNS3. It is an open standard with IEEE 802.1s designation, and basically what it means is that VLANs are mapped to groups. And unlike per VLAN spanning tree and rapid per VLAN spanning tree, you get one instance of spanning tree per group rather than per VLAN. And the benefits of MSTP include high redundancy, it makes it easy to load balance, and you also get much lower CPU and memory utilization than you would with RPVSD+, for example. All right, so now we're out here on GNS3 and we're using the same topology that we used in the other videos. We basically just have 8 blank devices that I dragged and dropped on there, connected them with the connector tool, and we have trunking configured, and we have 4 VLANs, 10, 20, 30, and 40, and we have explicitly allowed those VLANs across all the trunk lengths. All right, so now let's quickly look at the MSTP configuration. So you have to declare the mode just like you did before with spanning tree mode command and then MST, and then you enter a multiple spanning tree configuration mode, or you type in spanning tree MST configuration. And then you define the instances, and this is where you map the VLANs to instances. So instance 1, and then VLAN 10 and 20, and then instance 2, we have 30 and 40. And then you have to exit out of that MST configuration mode, and then you can configure the priority commands. So then you specify the instance number, and then you assign a priority to the instance. And so just like in the other videos, switches 2 through 7, we want to have the lowest priority because we know that we don't want those to become the root bridge. And then for switch 1, everything is the same until we come down to the priority statements. And then for instance 1, which includes VLANs 10 and 20, we give it the 0 priority, which of course is the actual highest priority. And then the second highest priority of 4096 for instance 2. And then the converse for switch 8, which then, just like we did before, which means that just like we did before, it's going to be the root bridge for VLANs 10 and 20 in instance 1, and it's going to be the backup root bridge for instance 2, which is VLANs 30 and 40, and then the opposite for switch 8. And so if given the choice, multiple spanning tree is definitely what I prefer, especially if you have a lot of VLANs. When you're declaring your instances, these commands are going to have a lot of VLANs in them, but then when it comes time to assign priorities to instances, it just makes it a lot cleaner, since your priority commands wouldn't then have a long string of VLANs. All right, now I'm going to paste the commands in. All right, so now we've got all the commands in there, and you're going to see these error messages. And the reason that that happens is because when these switches come up, it's going to come up by default in PDST mode. And when you're configuring them one at a time, you're going to have mismatches until all of them are configured. All right, then verification commands. We've got do show spanning tree summary, which is what we've used before. And so here you can see that we have 3 MST instances, and this MST0 is a default one. And it's going to throw all the VLANs in MST0 that you don't explicitly put in another one. Now we're going to do show spanning tree MST. And this command takes us through each of the spanning tree instances one by one and shows us the specifics. All right, so for MST0, it's going to show you all of the VLANs that are in MST0. And this is the one that exists by default. And you can see that the only VLANs that are not in here are the ones that we explicitly assigned to the other instances. And then it's also going to show you all of the ports that are in these instances as well. All right, and now we have MST1 here, which has these VLANs mapped. You can also see the bridge address and priority. And then it shows you the interfaces. And then it shows you the interfaces that are running this instance of spanning tree, which would be our trunking interfaces. And then this also shows you that all 3 of the trunking interfaces for MST1 are in the designated forwarding state, which means that it is the root, which is exactly what we want to see. And then for MST2, in which it's going to be the backup root essentially, you can see that it has 1 root port, which is correct. All right, so we'll do the same thing on switch 8. All right, so for MST2, designated forwarding on all the ports, because it is the root bridge, that is what you should see. And then for the one that is the backup root, it has one of the ports as root. And then you can do show run, include span, if you want to look at all of the spanning tree relevant config. All right, so that concludes this video. If you found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.